Pounders, we are back. Today we're going to be drafting the Bestball Mania tournament number 99 and number 100. 2/3 the way through this tournament. And it's time to take a look at the exposures right now and sort of adjust, make sure we are on pace with our takes, our players, our favorites, the players we're fading. We want to make sure it all matches our player takes. So at the end of it, you're happy with your portfolio. It's nothing worse than going into the season and you're like, damn, like, how'd I end up with 4% Breece Hall? It's like, well, you never adjusted. So we're going to go take a little deep dive into the exposures. If you haven't already, go down, drop a like on the live stream. If you want to jump in these live drafts with us, hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We have a free draft guide, Bestball Mania 40% fill rate update coming on Monday night, released in the Discord. And I can post that in the comments as well as in the description. So let's send that out real quick to the people. We're gonna be doing a 24-hour live stream if we hit 1,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff, and if we don't, we'll do something special, but it won't be 24. So if you want to cause me max pain, you want to see me talk a crazy Italian talk for 24 hours straight, hit the subscribe button, tell your grandma to subscribe, get your pet lizard to subscribe, all that good news. Matt Harmon, creator of the reception perception model, tweeted out that Tyler Lockett is a good receiver. Who would have thought? 79% success rate versus man coverage, 83.4% success rate versus zone, 78% success rate versus press coverage. So he also had a 74% completion rate with Geno. These two connect. Yes, they add JSN, but this is a guy that doesn't need heavy volume. Sort of like, I think DK actually needs a decent amount of volume to be a successful receiver for where he's being drafted. But Tyler Lockett, not that guy, in my opinion. He can go to the house on a couple catches. Josh Jacobs news doesn't look great. Not going to lie. I'm sitting at 4 to 5% Josh Jacobs, 5% for Bestball Mania, 4% on previous tournaments. And I'm only selecting him when he falls. Like, this is not at ADP. This is not before ADP. This is only after ADP. And right now I'm still going to slow down. Now, he's been much more vocal about sitting out. He's tweeted it out month plus ago about saying like he's going to do it for the ones that come after him. That is the people that didn't get a contract coming up before him. So Barkley, I have a better feeling about. He hasn't been as vocal about it. He was asked if he's going to sit out and miss games. And he said he didn't know. And that little bit of curiosity, that little bit of like uncertainty kind of tells me that Barkley's not fully ready to sit out the NFL season. He wants to get a deal done. Both of these guys do. But when it comes down to it, if they don't have a deal, I think Barkley plays. And I'm not saying Jacob sits out. I'm saying he has a higher chance of sitting out. Am I drafting Zamir White right now? Yes. I've been screaming saying draft Zamir White, but we have to keep it realistic, right? If Jacobs doesn't play, we have a ton of NFL vets on the free agency running back list that haven't signed yet. They could very easily bring someone in. Someone in the Discord today brought up Dalvin Cook to Vegas. Spicy, hot take, hilarious. I still kind of like it. Probably he'd go right back in the 5th round if that was the case. Nuts. But anyways, I mean, they could bring in Lenny. They can bring in Zeke, would be a decent landing spot in Vegas if they didn't want to pay Josh Jacobs a bunch of money. And he decides to sit out. So Zamir White, still kind of like him in that last round, 18th round pick, but you have to manage your expectations just a little bit. Like, you're not going to bring him in this hyper fragile build where you're doing 3 running backs. It's just manage the expectations just a little bit on Zamir White. Still think he's a great pickup. No, I probably have around 16, 17% Zamir White myself. So definitely not too much. We're talking about a last round pick. Most of these RBs in the last round they're going to be zeros. You're going to get crushed by just a vet being signed. Like if Lenny goes to the Pats, it's definitely going to hurt Pierre Strong. If Dalvin goes to Miami or if he goes to the Pats, like, so there's a lot of news that hasn't happened yet that could crush those last round picks. QB, tight end, those are going to be the safest picks in that round. The highest upside will be those running backs, because if you can get the handcuff running back in the 18th round, the reason they're going there right now is because the uncertainty of we don't know if they're going to be the number 2. Except Joshua Kelly. And we've been clicking Joshua Kelly a lot as of late. I think that's one of the safer picks where you're kind of guaranteed points. But Lamar Jackson throws a 60-yard bomb, contested catch by Rashad Bateman in practice. Just a little news, just a little rumblings. You know, he's on the field, he's playing. And yeah, that we sent that out to the Pounders Founders League on the Discord channel. Really cool throw, really cool catch. We see Lamar is up 20 pounds of muscle. Maybe he won't be as easily injured this season. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. I have a ton of Bateman. Jordan Addison, stupid news, going 145 and a 55. I don't think you have to worry about any implications. Maybe the team takes him and spanks him a little bit, but like, I don't expect a suspension to happen. And some hellos. Fantasy Football Garage, Frankie, Jay, Lucky, Vape. What's going on, fellas? Drew, GOAZ Cards, B Wells, Clip. Love to see you guys in the live stream. Appreciate you showing your support. Tonight, we are going to be jumping into Best Ball Mania. But before we do, let's pull up the exposures and let's give a little insider look, something that we do every single week for the Patreon members on the Discord. We get the exposures out, and it's funny because exposures are tricky, right? Without much context, you don't know like where these people were drafting them at. If I just sent you my exposures and didn't explain anything, you'd be like, this guy's nuts. This guy's got like 22% like Michael Gallup. I'm like, yeah, but I was drafting him from 160 all the way down. So context matters. So when you see anyone's exposure, don't be like, ooh, because the context definitely matters. But let's pull it up and let's see what it looks like. This is going to be for Best Ball Mania, strictly 98 teams. AJ Dillon, am I mad about the 30%? Yeah, not really. Team that's going to rely on the run, handcuff, but he had an absolute stellar to the end of the season. Huge quads. All right, I'm sold. Let's pull this up here. Let's pull this up. Players I'm targeting, players I'm fading right now, and there's some players I'm highly drafted, really high percents that I'm fading just due to ADP change, and that will happen. But Danny Dimes, I need more Danny Dimes in my life. Kenny Pickett, I'm slowly creeping up with Pickett. I'm slowly creeping up with Josh Allen. Mahomes, Fields. Fields is on the cover. Now, the middle round QBs have slid far enough. The elite QBs have slid far enough that now I am hammering these guys. The elite 3. Here's Jalen Hurts. It's sort of like we kind of called it on the draft guide, the last update when it was 18% full, that these guys are going to fall to the 3rd round. Now, Mahomes hasn't made it there yet, but it's always tough still to like take that first elite QB, especially if you're doing high stakes, because you don't know where the next 2 are going to go. So, but I'm definitely dipping my toes into the elite 3. I'm dipping my toes into Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson. And then you can sort of see, I do a lot of 3 QB. I do a lot of Dak early. We've sort of been off the Dak as of late since Gallup's price has gone up. Off to RBs, AJ Dillon, Mitchell, Connor at 20%. We know Davis Peng will like that one. Chase Brown, that one's for Ben. Gus, Rashawn, Kendra Miller, Tyler Algier, Gibson. Now, Gibson, I haven't drafted in like over a month. Gibson was someone I was drafting every single time when he was going pick like 125 to 130. Now he's under pick 100, and it's tough for me to even look at him, to be honest. Najee, we're getting up there. Just scrolling down for the fellers, still getting that 10% Zach Charbonnet. So this shows you how much I'm actually drafting running backs in that range 40% of the time between AJ Dillon and Zach Charbonnet. For that range, I'm slamming running backs in that range. Guys, I need to kind of like slow down on. Now, ETN, I'm only drafting after ADP. Same with Sanders. Zamir White's at 9% for Best Ball Mania, a lot higher for complete season long. Kendre, I guess I'll take an L on Kendre right now. I would say that's probably the big L in this group, but I'm only drafting him for the end of the season. Like, sure, he can start injured. That's fine. I'm not putting him in those builds where I'm only doing 4 running backs. He's not typically in those builds where I'm doing 5 because we're kind of expecting him to miss a little bit of time here. But it's definitely interesting to look at just this Best Ball Mania tournament, what your exposures are, sort of separating it from the rest. Receivers, Gallup's at 25%. Haven't touched him in quite a while. Cooks, 23%. But look where my Dak exposure is, right? He's my second highest drafted QB at 14.3%. These 3 are tied. Tyler Lockett at 22, Rashid Shaheed, Brandon Ayuk, Tyquan Thornton, who I've slowed on since he's gotten that nice boost. But now that we have D-Hop not going to the Pats, Tyquan Thornton back on the train. Nico Collins, CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Van Jeffy was early. I haven't really been touching Van Jeffy. Dotson, I've been slamming as of late. D-Hop, I was slamming early because of just the potential to, all the elite teams. And he ends up in Tennessee. I don't think his ADP is going to change too much for the negative. He's kind of sort of going around Mike Williams, which is fine. Calvin Ridley, drafted him early. It's really tough click right now for me where he's going. Garrett Wilson, Chase, I'm just a luck box. Let's not look at the Chase exposure. Super luck box. And then tight ends. And this sort of tells a story of what type of drafter you are. When you look at someone's QBs, when you look at someone's tight ends, do you see elite tight ends at the top? Do you see elite QBs at the top? Juwan Johnson, my boy this year, I guess. Juwan Johnson, my boy. 26.5%. He had a lot of usable weeks last year. He also showed he had 2 huge ceiling weeks, I believe, last year as well. Hunter Henry, not even drafted every single league. He's in my 3 tight end builds. I think it's completely fine. Njoku, I slowed down on him. Now I'm picking it back up. I was sort of worried that D-Hop, we got the news early that D-Hop might end up in Cleveland. That would have been bad for Njoku. So we're safe. We're back on the Njoku train. All steam ahead. Knox, still drafting him. Chiggy, maybe take a small L on that ADP, which is fine with the D-Hop addition, but he's just, he makes the use of every single target. So his efficiency is really good. Tyler Conklin, Goddard. My Goddard exposure is high. I don't know how it got this high, and it's good to look at it. So I got 52 drafts left. I don't want to be personally at 13% Goddard. I want to be at 15% Waller. Like, where's my Waller? You know what I mean? So we're at 3.1%. And it's just good to take note, like, that does not match my take. Like, I want a lot of Waller. Mark Andrews at 12, Freiermuth, Schultz, Ingram, Hawk. But now I'm starting to draft more Hawk. So, like, Hawk was really, really low. He's dropped about a round since the open of BBM. Kittle, he started really, really low. And now I'm starting to slam these guys that have fallen, and we're getting better prices than the early drafters, which I always think is a nice little benefit to get because they beat you at different prices on other players by drafting early. So a nice little thing to be able to do that there. And we just tipped off the Discord, and I think this thing insta-filled. I think I was 12 of 12. Oh my God. There are like no badge people in here. Let's pull this up. We might have gotten to a light room. We might have got lucky. And how many likes do we already have? 20 likes. If we get to 35 likes, we are going to pop off another draft after this one. And we get the 3 spot. Okay, we'll take it. My favorite CMC starts are definitely CMC Devonta Smith with Jalen Hurts. That's my favorite 3 spot start. Let's see what the craziness in the crowd is saying. ER7, welcome. Ben with the wrench. What's going on? Charles says AJ Brown and JSN, top 2 receivers. Can't stop clicking them. I like AJ Brown. I can't stop clicking CeeDee Lamb too in the back of drafts. He actually had more top 3 wide receiver finishes than AJ Brown, and he had more wide receiver 1 total finishes than AJ Brown last year. The CMC start. Let me peek the exposures real quick. Let me pull up Cup. We got time. We have time. Cup's at 10. Hill's going to be high. Hill's at 7. Let's go Hill here. Let's go Hill. Artie says Pat's about to have a field day. Yeah, we're going to start receiver here. We're going to start receiver. See what we can do. So we pick at 22. I do like when Hill's been falling to 6 and 7. Now that only lasted about a few days. I think people have sort of managed their expectations of the court system, kind of realizing that it's not fast. Ghost asks, are you staying away from weekly winners? Absolutely not. Let me pull up a weekly winners draft that we did. That was super fun. And it's just a little nugget for you guys. Get your brains moving a different direction rather than just like the same old drafts. Weekly winners is really a place that you can limit test. Let's see. Where is it? Where is the weekly winner contest? So many drafts this offseason. And we're getting into the thick of it for draft season. Like it's not even really. This is when you start drafting based on news. You start using every single little advantage. Can't even find the weekly winners. 2023 offseason. Oh, that's why. 22. It's separate. Is this the team? Nope, that's not the team. Here it is. Here it is. And let's match it up here. Here we go. Patrick Mahomes, CMC, Barkley, Jerick McKinnon. So all 3 RBs can start in 1 week. So we're not really wasting any roster space. Waller, Taysom Hill, Christian Watson, Ayuk, Marquise Brown, Sky Moore, Michael Thomas, KJ Osborne, Alec Pierce, Tyquan Thornton, McCole Hardman, Marvin Jones, Terrace Marshall, and Chosen Anderson. We went with the 1-3-12-2 build. You can really limit test on weekly winners. And this is going to most likely be like weeks 1 through 5 type build. Even weeks 1 through 6 is fine. Or the end of the season, weeks 14, 15, 16, 17. I wasn't really worried about bye weeks. I just knew, we're giving up week 10, and I didn't really care about the middle weeks. And you can do that. You can sort of do that thing with the weekly winners. It's a lot of fun. Let me see. ER7 says it's frozen on the board. I think you saw it, though. That might have been an old comment. Let me know. Just a different way. Get your mind thinking differently. Like, can Barkley and CMC spike? We just need them to spike into the top 5 on 1 week, and that's likely to happen multiple weeks over the course of the season. You have Taysom Hill. You have an elite tight end, and then you have the elite QB. I would have liked an extra pass catcher for that build in KC, but people were reaching all over the place for high-powered offense receivers, which makes sense. I'll go ahead and scoop Saquon Barkley if he falls to 27. If I had to, I would probably put Derrick Henry. Like, I would love to get out of here with these two, with Tyreek Hill. We'll see what happens. Can also go T. Higgs. Let's go Derrick Henry. Trying to up that exposure as well. Let's see what these freaks want to do. Ham Daily, welcome to the live stream, says, was just in a weekly guy to Mahomes, Kelsey, Tony, and Rashee Rice. He took. Yeah, and that's fine. Honestly, that's a tournament where you're really able to super stack offenses. I don't think it's as bad as like if you only have one game, right? In this Best Ball Mania, this tournament, you care about week 17. Like that's the 1 week you care about, that one game. How does, well, Mahomes might be able to do it. He could throw for a 400-yard plus game, but other offenses, like let's say Chicago, if you have 3 of the pass catchers on Chicago, they're not all likely to spike. So we see Barkley go here at 23, which is fine. I was trying to push him. I was really trying to push him. Just see if this room's high on him or not. I'm cool with going Mahomes here, to be honest. It's like this. We have Hill, so we can go Andrews, and that's an easy click. Let's go Andrews. Let's go Andrews. That's for the week 17 correlation in that game. Dude, Drew just said weekly winners is still not an Android. How? That's nuts. You would think that kind of Underdog would get that fixed quick because the tournaments, it's not filling that fast, which is good for Android users. Like you guys should be able to get in still if they get it fixed, but we're talking about the tournament is 23.7% full. So, and then Best Ball Mania is sitting right at 40, right? 41%. Big tournaments. And then you have the Mastiff, which is just under half full. Let me know in the comments. And if you're seeing this afterwards, drop us a comment below for the YouTube algorithm. Harder to beat than the Mastiff, for sure. If you want to see us jump into that draft. Drew says, when I go 2 wide receiver starts, I don't mind Brees there. 100%. I like Brees there a lot. Positive news about the injury. I'm trying to up my Brees exposure as well. And I'm sort of soft fading Ramondre. I have my shares early in the tournament until I find out where Dalvin lands. And with the Patriots being the favored odds, Vegas odds to land in New England, you shouldn't be drafting him at ADP, in my opinion. Can it work out? Sure, absolutely. But I already have enough. Ramondre. I'm willing to sit out a little bit until I get more information. We see a little nakey Burrow, but then he brings it back with the Joe Mixon at 37. Oh, he's getting steamed. Man. I don't know if I could do this Joe Mixon thing much longer. Now, he's probably going to settle around ETN. Like right in this range. He still has room to move, which is gross. I honestly, there's so many other just running backs I'd rather take over Mixon. Maybe even just 1-for-1s that go late. Like I'd rather take a shot on Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins. I'm nervous to say those two, not gonna lie. James Conner, I'd rather his ADP, 100%. See Keenan Allen rightly falling. Go says, I'd be shocked if Barkley didn't play. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, I've started to raise Drew. I've started to raise my Henry exposure. I mean, you have the addition of D Hop. We're going to get more elongated drives, more red zone looks. It likely means Ryan Tannehill's the starter, and if they're in playoff contention, Tannehill should be playing all the way through the season. Now, if they're not, maybe you do see a Will Levis sighting at the end of the season, but right now it's leaning Tannehill. So Derrick Henry, in my opinion, does get a small boost from that. And as you see last year, they did get him involved more in the passing game. And that's exactly what we wanted. And they gave it to us. So give me Henry at ADP, especially where I'm sort of softly fading Ramondre as well. And GA007 says, never trust Patriots or McVay with running backs. It's not a bad take. It's not a bad take at all. These guys all have a QB. Let's go DJ Moore and Drake London. I mean, DJ Moore and Justin Fields. They're not going to go another QB, right? Like, if they do, it's still the right risk. You would always draft the receiver here, especially when the two teams in front of you have a QB. And if they do take Justin Fields, we'll just happily select one of these receivers after ADP. Not a big deal. Drew says, I've never seen Mixon go remotely that early. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Early into Bestball Mania, like you could get Mixon at 60 here, 60 plus. So to bring him down to 37 just sort of makes me cringe a little bit. But these drafters are sort of coming into this environment where they haven't been drafting since the Super Bowl, like you and I, like absolute freaks in a cave. And our little plan works. We do get Justin Fields here. He's on the thummy. It's too well planned. We knew we were going to get the 3 spot. We knew we were going to get him a pick and a half after ADP. It's all planned. It's all part of what one would call the script. Now this lineup has to win. That's the true script. And then we draft from an island next year. All pounders invited. Ari says, I remember getting Mixon on the rare occasion I took him pick 100 on the big board. Yeah. Yeah, there were some weeks where the negative news about Mixon really made him drop. And it was like, all right, I'm willing to risk it at this point. Those are the good days. The big board when like P. Ryan would go at 160. Jaylen Warren would go in like 175. Early big board days. Fun. A lot of fun. ER7, thank you for the dono, my man. Says, let's get 40 likes. Let's go. Let's go. What are we at? 25. Still good. We're going to pop off another one at 35. We are almost there. J.K. Dobbins to the Lamar Jackson, Diggs, Waddle, Keenan Allen team. That's a pretty looking team so far. I got the little Waddle bring back. That's fun. That's fun. It's not unique, but it's fun. You could always get unique later. Rashee Rice made a nice catch in practice today. Trying to think what else I saw. See Tyler Lockett go at 59. Couple picks before ADP. Nothing crazy. The big board started what? Like under a month after the Super Bowl? Just under a month? Maybe 2-3 weeks. And I couldn't even wait for that tournament. We were doing like $3 cash games just to get reps. Like a sicko. Like a sicko. Yeah, first week in March. Sounds about right. I have it dated on my first draft. Have it dated. Marquise Brown off the board 64. Madison to follow. Pierce off the board. Deluxe 7. This name looks familiar. And if someone snuck in this draft with me, let me know where you're drafting from in the live stream. Give your team a little shout out. Cover it. Trevor Lawrence is 67. Oh my God, dude. Trevor Lawrence is someone that I can't get as a falling value, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. If I didn't have Andrews, I'd probably go Pitts here for that bring back, but I'm not going double elite. I'm not doing it. Let's go Dotson here, and then hopefully get one of these two on the way back around. Treylon Burks kind of fell to the ADP that we thought he would, right in the 79-80 range. Sort of called that right after the open. I bet he does settle like right after Montgomery. I just can't see him going religiously behind Quentin Johnston. But if there are injuries to the Chargers offense, which I mean, with those two receivers, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, he could be a pretty important asset this year. But like, is anyone taking Brandon Cooks over Treylon Burks? You know, so like he only has 5.5 picks, 2 receivers. It's like, what's he going to fall behind one more receiver? Like, it's not a big deal. Vape says my first big board was February 10th. Damn, was it that early? No. I don't think so. Maybe. Let's go Gabe here. I don't have a ton of Gabe Davis. I've been trying to raise exposure a little bit as of late. Let's give it a little peek here too. Let's give it a quick peek. And for Best Ball Mania, I want to make sure that I'm looking at just my Best Ball Mania exposures. Gabe. Yeah, 6%. So I'll bring this up to 7%. Draft number 99. Draft number 99. Go says hard to see Cook staying healthy. That's fine. He could get hurt. He could miss a few weeks. It's okay. You really just want him for the end of the year. Let's go. Let's go. Adam says, I have 75% Tannehill in my 150 big board drafts. I ended up with, man, I was high on Tannehill too for the big board because you can get him in round like 20. And I ended up with 24%. He was my highest owned QB. Daniel Jones after that, but you're actually getting charged for Daniel Jones. He was not as cheap as he is now. All the QBs were more expensive, including the Elite 3. So it makes sense now that all of them fall, all the middle round, all the middle late round QBs have to fall as well. And that happened. So it was a little market adjustment. See Montgomery go, Pickens, Rashad White, and then Treylon Burks is 79, right before Quentin Johnson. I'm cool with that. Darren Waller. This is a strong start. By Bad Mother, going Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor. Very interesting. I mean, I don't know if I love that. I always want my elite receiver. Trying to think if it's even unique. I guess it is unique because they go in the same round, right? So it's a unique start with Jerry Jeudy, Ridley, Tyler Lockett, JSN. I just like the construction standpoint where then he slams wide receiver 4 picks in a row. He grabs an elite tight end. He grabs another running back. Now this team can really take a dive for the negative if he continues to draft running backs now, he should really probably stick with these 3 running backs until round like at least 13, in my opinion. So we'll see what Bad Mother, if he continues to draft RBs or not. Dalvin Cook off the board. Deshaun Watson. A little naked Deshaun Watson. That's the other thing, like, with rooms where not a lot of badges, you don't know if they're experienced. You don't know if they're watching YouTube content creators. You just have no clue if you're going to get your QB stacked or not, or if they're just going to go rogue on you. Artie, with the biggest dono since we have become officially monetized, says, thanks for all the content, Pat. Definitely made me a better drafter. Hopefully I lose less money as a result this year. Dude, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for always coming out. You were one of the early pounders. I can definitely say that. And I appreciate you, Artie. Appreciate you a lot. All right, we're on the clock here. We're not going, dude. I don't mind JMO in this situation. We have 4 wide receivers. I also don't mind the Alvin Kamara click right now. But let's go fucking JMO. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun with this pick. Definitely a teardrop off after JMO. Artie with another one. You sick man. I appreciate you, brother. He says, this BBM is on me, buddy. He just bought equity in this team. I think low key. Low key. He goes Pacheco. Pacheco slides to 95. Honestly, it's not a bad ADP for Pacheco. Like, I'm going Pacheco over all these running backs, in my opinion. If Tua falls, we grab Tua here. Like, no fucking doubt. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. Do we click Kamara here? I hate the Kamara click. I'm not going to lie. 3-headed running back system in New Orleans. It just doesn't feel good. So we're going to go right back to our guy here. We're bringing in A.J. Dillon. We're bringing in A.J. Dillon. I like this start. I like this start. We got the little mini between Andrews and Hill. I would like to get some Carolina or Atlanta, excuse me, for the week 17 against Chicago. Who plays Carolina? Is it Jacksonville? I think Jacksonville plays. Yeah, like this team can support Jameson Williams. I like this start. I like this start a lot. Allen Lazard off the board, James Cook off the board. I just like these 2 clicks in this range. I've been clicking a ton of JMO as of late on teams that I can support him as well. But I think he also fits in those 0 wide receiver builds where you're going maybe 8 receivers, even 9. If you're starting like a hyper fragile wide RB build where you go maybe 2 of your first 4 rounds or 2 of your first 3 rounds are RBs. Like JMO fits in a lot of different builds. Vape says I got Pacheco at 102. Yeah. Yeah. Charles still can't click Kamara. I know. With the positive news. Did this guy go naked Tua? He did, right? He went naked Tua and had Mahomes. It's just... Oh, shit. We see Gino go off the board at 107 here. Did this guy have... He had 1 Seattle Seahawk. I don't know if that's enough to worry about, but maybe this guy pulled up mix into 37. Everyone's just going rogue. It's the best. Everyone's going rogue right now. If you guys have just joined us, drop a like on the live stream. We're going to be doing a second draft after this. If we hit 35 likes, We're doing a 24-hour live stream. If we can hit 1,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff, we're on pace. Don't be shy. Hit that shiny button. He goes Jared Goff. Okay, pairs it. He's got the bring back with Dallas. That makes sense. A little double anchor running back build. Strong at tight end. I don't hate it, but just like some of these picks aren't my guys. Like Sutton at 84. That's a full round reach. And then Thomas is just about what? It's like 8 picks. That's not bad. But a full round reach hurts. Still not bad. I don't know. Going Joe Burrow and then pairing it with Jared Goff it's not sexy, right? It's not sexy. Njoku falls to 112. Nice little 5 pick after ADP for the stack. He got Devontae at 16 too. Eckler at 9. That's sweet. I like that. Het going. So why Dylan over the RBs in that range? Over James Cook, because I don't trust a single Buffalo running back, really. They finished 28th last season. Gibson has risen from like around 132, 133 since the start of the Best Ball Mania tournament being opened. Also has one of the tougher playoff schedules. Kamara, I'm fine with the click right now around like positive news about whatever, about his court case. Maybe he gets 4 games, maybe he gets 6, but I still think if he gets suspended for 4 games, I still think around that news, when that drops, if it drops while we're drafting, you will see him drop. I might just go Danny Dimes here. Steal the Dimes pick. Dimes and Fields. Is it same bye week? That does kind of blow. If we give up the bye week, we're likely... I'm going to do it anyways. You're likely giving up the regular season prize if you just stick with these 2 QBs. You're likely just giving up the regular season prize. So this might be a last round QB team for a 3rd QB. Don't like bringing in 3 QBs with this amount of draft capital, but when it's the last round, I don't think it's a huge deal. We saw King Cap's team win the regular season prize, and he had 2 players with 0s. Chris Evans and who was it, a QB? So I don't think it's the biggest deal. It's tough though when the regular season prize is 1/3 of the prize pool, 5 million, and then 10 million being in the tournament breakdown. Look at these RBs fall though. And this is perfect for us. We're set at receiver. We have our elite tight end. We're just dancing in the wind right now. It was Davis. Thank you guys. Mills. Yeah, I knew he was a QB. So he had 16 players and he won the regular season prize. Now that is a crazy parlay, even with like the bye week dance and all that. We're going to dance with Penny right here. 13 picks after ADP. I think I am. Let's go Rashad Penny. I like Mooney in this range as well, especially where we have the stack, but I don't know. It's tough for me to think that 2 pass catchers are going to spike with Fields, and we still want to be opened up for the Komet pick because I like Komet at his ADP at 150. Elijah Mitchell off the board, Khalil Herbert off the board. And Khalil Herbert's someone that we brought up like really early into the big board 2 months ago plus, when we're like, I think we're being overcharged at pick like 105 or whatever. We expected David Montgomery to move on. We expected them to bring in a rookie, but they also brought in a vet. So we see this slide to 127. I have been mixing them in here. It's just, it's tough. This is like Chicago and New Orleans, these two running back, like their backfields with the three-headed monster they have. That's going to be a lot of deciding factors. A lot of dead rosters, but I think also a lot of strong rosters will come from whoever hits on those players. I'm trying not to draft multiple, but it depends on the team. Never say never. Damian Harris going off the board at 131. I wonder if that's the negative FUD about like Latavius Murray stealing reps. It's just practice. Like Damian Harris runs hard. All these RBs fell though. All these RBs fell. We got a full round of value on Petty, which is exactly what you want to see when you're going like a hero running back build. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. If we can get Chiggy to fall to us, we might be able to bring in Tannehill. We'll have a double stack with Henry. Tannehill last round pick, different bye week. I think that's interesting. What is that? What is that? Is that Tajay Spears at 132? This guy's, I knew this guy was rogue. He just went rogue, bro. That's fine. Like, we didn't need Tajay Spears, but I actually hate the Komet pick so early. That one kind of irks me. That was even an auto pick. He went Tajay Spears at 132. He could have got him at 156, like no doubt in my mind. Unless Derrick Henry was arrested for like something crazy or he got hurt tying his shoes, Tajay Spears pulled up 30 spots plus. Gross. Let's peek. Something like this. Give me two of these guys. Dolchich off the board. I don't even mind going another running back in this range, to be honest. I do think Bigsby has a chance to rise still in training camp. Warren off the board. Gerald Everett off the board. Okay. What's our next pick and who comes after us? One guy's got two tight ends. One guy's got one. If we want the Higbee bring back for this Giants, I think I'm just going to go tank here. Which means I want a wide receiver with this pick. He goes Higbee. Pitts and Higbee, which is a fine pairing. Like, I wonder if he stops at 2 there. Like, I'd probably stop at 2 there with the bet that you're making on Pitts with pick 70, 71. Kincaid went at pick 125 in this draft. 9 picks before ADP. Gallup off the board. One 3-6-2 build. Hawkinson and Goddard receivers are fine. A little weak when your third receiver Sky, but he's probably going to go 9 receivers with this build, and running backs aren't that strong. It's actually kind of gross. He goes KJ Osborne. The click makes sense. Spike week guy. Okay. We're bringing in the puker. We're drafting the puker. We're drafting the puker. Honestly, I'd rather draft Rice over MVS all day. So I hope MVS just rises. Just keep rising, please. I don't mind that at all. Keep rising. All right. Our next, so like this is going to be a 3, 5, 2. Damn, that would leave us with 9 receivers, and we don't even need 9 receivers. So 3, 5, right? That's 8 plus 2. That's 10. So I'd leave us with 8 receivers. Do we realistically need 8 receivers? I think we have a bonus pick. We're not going 3 tight ends. If we stop with 7 receivers, like if I like my next receiver and I feel like we can stop on him, we can do that. We're going to go 1 more running back, and then it could be 2 running backs. So either 6 running backs, 7 receivers, or 5 and 8. We'll see. Yes. ML says Rice over MVS for sure. Rushy puking up his rice. Goddamn. Vicious. Vicious. Maybe true. Didn't ask what he had for lunch that day. Could be true. We see the Kendre fall. Expected. But the reason you're drafting Kendre Miller's for week 15, 16, 17. So he could have been a riser if we got positive news about his injury. Turns out we get slightly negative news. We'll see. I'm still sort of buying him after ADP. He falls 10 picks here. Curtis Samuel gets boosted to 155. 17 picks before ADP. This room's nuts. This room's nuts. Where is the Hopkins team? Let's find the Hopkins team. Let's find the Treylon Burks team. Let's see what they have for QBs. I want to know if I can push off Ryan Tannehill super late. D-Hop here at the 7 spot doesn't have a QB. No, he's Kyler Murray. And he has Chiggy. You have to think this guy's going to bring in Tannehill. The latest, 186. So if we want Tannehill, we'd have to reach at 171, which I don't love. 203. Does he think he can get Tannehill at 198? Because if he thinks he can push him off to 198, I can scoop him at 190. But where's the Burks team? Where's the Burks team? Treylon Burks. He goes right after. Oh, no. That is the Burks team. He's got both. He's got 3 pass catchers. I think we're going to see it early. Probably with this 175 pick. I'm not going super early on him. I want to get him at a value. Like, I don't want to force it. Singletary, DJ Chark. I can't click DJ Chark. Might be a flaw of mine, but I can't click him. We see Tim Patrick off the board at 159. Hunter Renfrow at 157. What the fuck? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Probably would have went Rashawn Johnson if he fell to us. This is a fun click. Let's go Sam Laporte and Mark Andrews. Pair these two. We have another Detroit pass catcher. Yeah, Ben, I can't click DJ Chark. I can click Terrace Marshall at the end. Nick in the live stream says the 12 pick is picking from the future. Like he knows these players are going to smash. Tajay Spears at 132. Oh, I can't. I can't even try to sell it. I'm not gonna. What this team needs is Tyquan Thornton or Isaiah Hodgins. Probably Hodgins over Thornton. Give me one of these two and I feel good. I feel good. And then let's get this guy to pass on Tannehill and hope he tries pushing him to 198. And we'll steal him at 190. But there's no way, right? There's no way. Like if he doesn't go him at 174, he should go Tannehill at 187, like no matter what. And if we don't get Tannehill, where can we pivot to? We can pivot to Sam Howell. That makes sense. We can pivot to Sam Howell. We don't have a bring back, but that's fine. Let's go Hodgins here. I have so much Tyquan Thornton, so a little Hodgins pick. I can't go Campbell. I mixed in some Campbell, but it just seems like they can't find a position for him to play. When they're moving him all over the field, kind of seems like he's going to have a gadget role and not a steady into wide receiver sets role, which is sort of what I would prefer. So we're not going to have a Rams bring back unless we go like a super late sleep with Zach Evans, Nakua at receiver if we want to go 8 receivers. But do we need 8 receivers? Hill, DJ Moore, Dotson, Gabe Davis. Probably. I would say this team needs 8 receivers, so we'll stop at 5 running backs. We'll grab another QB. Drewski, welcome to the live stream. Ben says Thielen is wash and Mingo is nothing. Hurst did nothing with Burrow. Do we think he's a threat for a target competition? Chark is the one, and in Carolina, it won't be close. Yeah. Terrace Marshall's there, though. Terrace Marshall's there. It's not like DJ Chark is free, right? Like you pick 162 is definitely not free. Rookie QB, I don't know. There's a lot of negatives coming off an injury. Yeah, Ben likes Marshall too. Love that. Love that. I actually just added a slow draft channel to the Discord. Welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you coming here. Do fast puppy contests pop up every day? No, but Underdog's really good about just releasing new contests when one fills. Jimmy G, holy shit, pick 180. 31 picks, 32 picks before ADP. Oh my God. This 12 spot guy's gone just completely nutty. Is this the 7? Where's the 7 spot, dude? Still doesn't have a QB, second QB. All right, he didn't pick Tannehill yet. If he pushes him to 198, we're sniping him. If he takes him at 187, congratulations. You win. You win this round. Oh my God. Chiggy, Treylon Burks, DeAndre Hopkins. Tannehill goes 1 pick before. Dude, deluxe 7, just with the hammer. With the hammer. He goes Devontae Parker instead. Like, act like you're okay right now because we know you're not. He's punching air. Oh, shit. Dude, it's going to take a lot for me to pass on Juwan Johnson here. 16 picks after ADP. But I have to. This is a trap. Okay, good. It was a trap anyways. Do we think one of these teams are going to go Sam Howell? Like, no one on Washington, 2 elite QBs. How about this guy? No one on Washington. I'm going to push it. Let's bring in Wilson. I'm going to push it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Where are we at? 36 likes. Let's go. If you haven't already, drop a like on the live stream. If you want to jump into these live drafts with us, hit the bell for notifications. Make sure you're subbed to the channel. These guys are making me nervous just by how slow they're drafting. We're going to be doing a second draft after this one as well. $24-hour live stream. If we can hit 1,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff, I'm so excited. We have so many sweats, so many members in the Discord to sweat for. Just gonna be rooting everyone on. Sam Howell here. We got a little mini with Jahan Dotson. We don't have the bring back. Bringbacks just didn't work in this room. And guess what? I'm not surprised when you have so many badgeless people and just people just fucking doing whatever they want. Whatever they want. I'm just glad that we got some stacks with our QBs because sometimes that's tough in these rooms with no drafters. And this is likely just a regular season pick. I don't think you have to do it, but like it has to be a regular season pick. Unless Sam Howell is the piece you need. Unless he's the piece you need. But 1/3 of the prize pool goes towards the regular season. If you just rock with 2 QBs, getting a 0 on 1 week, you're likely just giving that up completely with only 10,000 teams out of 677,000. So, yeah, it's not like it's at least it's correlated. So it still has a little playoff boost because it's correlated. So I don't really completely hate it. And we need what? 1 receiver. There's no way we're going to get Terrace Marshall. We might be able to do a little bring back here with Puka. And that's cute. We can do a little cute bring back. I don't think Slayton's going to make it back to us. We could do a double. Yeah. Wasn't even close. We could do a fun click down here. Atlanta has a bring back in the Chicago game. That's a fun click. So now we have 2 options for bringbacks for our week 17 matchups. If they both get sniped, we may as well just go to bed tonight after this. We may as well just go to bed. Are you high on the Kelsey Mahomes stack? I am. But like if I want to try that, like I hate taking, Kelsey at 7 and then going Mahomes at 18 and just sort of not knowing where the next QB is going to go off the board. I'm willing to do it in Bestball Mania. But where Mahomes goes at pick 21, ADP 21, I like to try to go Kelsey at 4 sometimes and then grab Mahomes. And then you're getting a little different pairing with pick 28 typically. So it's just another way to do it. We see Mahomes slide to 26 here. It's just such an advantage for like if the Kelsey drafter goes Mahomes at 19 and then Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen fall after ADP, pretty big disadvantage for this single pod where 2 out of 12 teams advance. So it is a little more tough for me to go Mahomes. We would have scooped him here 100%. If he fell to us at 27, we were starting to freaking lose our spit. Let's slurp it back up. We see Will Levis sighting here. That's oh, he had to though. He had to. It's the team with 3 Tennessee Titans. With the triple stack, he had to go Levis. It's not a bad move, to be honest. Like, how does this team win? I don't know. I actually don't know. I think they just raked. If they get Tannehill, it's still like I don't love the QB room. Which stack do we want? Let's go Mac Hollins. I think it's a little more unique than Puka, who's regularly drafted. Let's go Mac Hollins with this one. We had JMO. We had a rookie. I felt that with JMO and a rookie, if I only had those 5 receivers through 6 weeks, I don't know. I think it's a little thin. So I did want to bring in an extra receiver, kind of a bonus pick. We're pretty balanced at running back. Obviously, we have the 3 QBs. I hate having to go a third QB with that pairing, but had to do it. Had to do it. Regular season prize is 1/3 of the prize pool. It's gross, but I think that's the right move. And the next draft we do is going to be our 100th Bestball Mania draft. Mark Andrews and Laporte is such a fun little pairing too. Such a fun little pairing. So let's pull it up and let's see. We are waiting on 2 people. Tipped off the Discord members, Patreon members. Appreciate you guys. Let's see if we get anyone in this draft or if we lucked out again with no pounders in the room because we just basically did whatever we wanted to there. And it's looking pretty good so far. Let's go. Sherman. Is this the data guy? This room looks good. Let me know if you snuck into this room with us. King of QC, that name looks familiar. Brendan, this name looks familiar. But that's it. That's it. Scoot says chat chooses the picks for the 100th. Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna start a slow draft. A Best Ball Mania slow draft in the Discord. I'm going to make a channel for it, and we're all going to vote on every single pick. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll just link the Discord. It's in the chat. If you guys aren't already part of that, we're also updating the free draft guide for YouTube subscribers, where we go round by round and just rank the values at current ADP. But yeah, let's do a pounder slow draft with one of my BBMs. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll do something fun if we place too, obviously. We'll give back to the community. It's the kind of people we are. CMC at 3, Tyreek Hill at 4, pretty standard. Yeah, I'll make a channel for it. I've been trying to add some channels of what people have been wanting, and that was a fun idea brought up, I believe, by one of the pounders. Cup at 5, Travis Kelce at 6, very standard. Very standard. Diggs at 7. Austin Eckler. Z Charters was in our last draft, right? Let me peek who he drafted. Let me look. I believe he was in our last draft. We're getting some poker information on him, on what kind of drafter he is. Yep, he was in the 7 spot. This is the guy that went all Tennessee Titans. He went A.J. Brown, Smith, Breece Hall, DeAndre Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, Damian Pierce, Treylon Burks, Rashad Bateman, Freiermuth, Brian Robinson, Khalil Herbert, Chiggy. Looks like he just basically drafts off ADP. Looks like he drafts off ADP. I'm not seeing any like crazy stances or reaches. And that's sort of what I'm looking for, making sure that he doesn't like the hashtag my guys more than me. That's important. Oh shit. Charles goes slow draft the Discord Mastiff. I think Drew's gonna jump in the Mastiff with me. I think we're gonna split it. Yeah, so close. So close. See, if I had a little more, influence, maybe we get the 101. But hashtag not influenced enough, I guess. CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Waddle. Nick Chubb. I've seen a lot of Nick Chubb getting pulled up to this spot right here. I'm not surprised to see Devontae Adams go in front of Amon-Ra, even though Amon-Ra's lapped Devontae Adams in ADP. I'm still drafting this way, Devontae Adams above Amon-Ra. Now for weekly, I think you can do either one, but wow, 2 elite QBs go off super early. But like Amon-Ra, we expect his first 6 weeks to be fire, and then we'll sort of see. Like the tight end should take on Sam Laporta should take on more of a role towards the end of the season. JMO as well. So Devontae Adams. I mean, I think if you're worried about the Jimmy G FUD, it's probably a little overblown at this point. Chase. I want both. Shrike. You probably want, like, I could go T. Higgs here. Let's go T. Higgs. I want Barkley too, though. Chase, T. Higgs, Barkley, get Burrow on the way back around would be a 6 start. I want Barkley, but I want him at 26. I think he goes T. Higgins. That's the difference. Like, is he going to automatically pick Barkley? Is he going to automatically take T. Higgins? I don't think it mattered. Like, I think he was going to go either one. Yeah, he goes both RBs. I love that start. Let's bring in Brees here. Small reach might be a little unique. Everyone's just typically clicking, Stevenson, Andrews, DK. Let's do a small reach on Brees, who did get a little positive news about his injury. Smart people are drafting Barkley probably at 23, but I try to push it a little bit. Try pushing on the last one too. Never learn. DK Metcalf off the board at 28. See, this is the start I was talking about. CMC, Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts. If I could guarantee that start with a CMC start, like, I love that. I think that's very strong. This year. Mahomes, Stevenson, Kelsey just going 0 wide receiver through 3. We'll see how this team turns out. Austin Eckler, Chris Olave, Ridley, Diggs, Josh Allen, Debo. Definitely a little reach on Josh Allen too, because you can get him at 31 in a falling room if you do enough of these. That's only 3 picks after ADP. I think this is more of like a casual type stance where you're sort of reaching too far to get your stack. But if you're only doing 5, if you're only doing 10 of these, whatever it may be, I could see you wanting to get that stack, wanting to get your guys. But if you're doing 50, if you're doing multiple, you just do another draft and you try to push it to make that strong team. I think that makes more sense. Lamar with Waddle and CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jeudy at 35. Josh Jacobs with Amari Cooper. Get the Las Vegas stack here. Get the Cleveland, New York Jets. Bring back week 17. Although I'm sort of excited for that game on the ground more than I am in the air. D-Hop off the board at 38. That's interesting. Gibbs off at 39. So maybe he wanted 2 players in that one range. Kind of skipping a few. It's interesting. P Maney just going purely off player takes here, which I'm cool with. I'm completely cool with. You have to switch it up sometimes. That's like our Brees Hall, just a slight reach up to get a little different. Mike Williams, Drake London, and we're picking at 47 and 50. We can go multiple ways. We're hoping, obviously, Joe Burrow makes it back to us. This guy in the middle of us doesn't have a QB, and I really don't trust him. So let's see. Now, this is my recommendation for this type of team. If you get sniped on Chase, if you get sniped on T. Higgins, you basically need to have a QB that can have a bigger spike week than Burrow, but also have Chase and Higgins spike. Like, that's the way I like to think of it. So, like, rushing QBs, those come to mind. Basically, that's what you need, in my opinion. If they're both going to be in the winner circle, maybe they push you on to week 17. You only need one piece. That could be the narrative as well. But if they both have a huge week against KC week 17, you need a QB in a different offense that can have a bigger spike week than Joe Burrow with that narrative happening. And we're going to bring in Burrow now. This guy's got to be double tapping receiver, right? Kirk and Ayuk. If that happens, I might go ETN. Not really interested in the triple with Cincy. Might go Hawk here. Let me peek to expose. I have so much Ayuk. Still going Ayuk. Let me get a different receiver from another offense in this range. Pick 71, 74, another good range to hit receiver. And let's lean on Brees Hall a little bit. Let's sort of do a hero running back build again, but around Brees Hall this time. Constantly peeking at the exposures. Justin Fields at 53 feels so good. Like, nice. I like this team a lot. I'm really trying to up my Justin Fields exposure. Like, I want my Justin Fields to probably be sitting at like 16% at least. At least. Chris Godwin, Aaron Jones, Gordo just pissing. Same thing with Charters, just pissing. Standard. Justin Herbert go with Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. That's nice. Nice little do-si-do there. Drew, I'm really trying to up my Jefferson and Chase exposures, but I'm not doing a good job of it so far. Oh, shit. I don't know how much you can really do about that. I don't know how much you could really do. That's funny. J.K. Dobbins off at 60, which is like a common click right here for the Lamar team. So I actually don't mind like not clicking Dobbins there for the Lamar Jackson team. But let's see how he gets his correlation. I still think Bateman has some room to move. We see Hawk fall to 59. George Kittle goes to 61 shortly after. Damn. Just the elite tight ends give you such a huge advantage for advance rates too. If they can hit their ceiling at some point in the playoffs, just such a big advantage. It's just where we're drafting from, we're just not at a good range. Like I don't want to select them. I don't want to have to reach too far. Like I want to be getting them at a good price. Trevor Lawrence off at 65 to go with the Calvin Ridley team. This is the guy that got sniped on Ryan Tannehill 1 pick before his turn last draft. Mike Evans off at 67. I'm curious. Are people on Mike Evans still? He's been sort of tough for me. Michael Pittman definitely has to drop. Like I have Pittman probably behind Pickens, to be honest. Went Dotson last round. We're going to go Dotson again, though. It makes sense with the bring back for Ayuk. Little mini stack. I think that makes a ton of sense. Dylan, welcome to the live stream. This guy's got a 0-3-2-0 start. No one knows what he's doing. Not even him. Goes Gabe. I like the pick. George Pickens or Burks. Most likely. I can't go Tony as a bring back. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't. I refuse. However, we will go Darren Waller or Pickens. I think Waller's interesting in this spot because how many people are reaching up just 6 picks and just selecting Waller over like the obvious Tony, Pickens, Burks, Dameon Pierce, like Goddard. Goddard falls to this ADP. You know what I mean? So how many people are really reaching over another player at that position? I bet it's not high. So if it gets us unique and we can make a small bet and it hits, that could get us unique in the playoffs. I actually think Waller might have a higher ceiling this year as well. Don't hate me. Don't hate me if you're a Goddard guy. I have a ton of Goddard. I don't even know how my exposure got so high to Goddard. Literally crept up on me in for my best ball mania drafts. We covered that before we entered the draft room. The exposure. So if you want to see that afterwards, go to the beginning of the video. Get to see all of our exposures for Best Ball Mania. And if you want to see all of our exposures for all of our drafts post NFL draft, join the Patreon. It's got plenty of other benefits as well. Pierce falls to 77. Common faller. Really a common faller to 77, 79 range. I say this in every live stream. Like, I don't know how his ADP is still around 70. He always falls, especially in our rooms. White to follow. Who's your target on Houston? Give me Nico Collins. Give me Nico. If you need a tight end, Schultz, I think is okay. Andre Johnson. Old school. Yeah, give me Nico. Mechie's fine, but it's a bet, right? It's a bet you're making on him. Does he have the talent? Yes, but it's all about health. Dude, Zay Flowers over Treylon Burks. I think we're going crazy now. I think that's crazy. This guy's just a rookie hoarder. Yeah, I mean, Mechie can. It's just gonna depend on his health. Like, he's working out. Could depend on his health. I think he could be a riser if we get positive news. So mixing in Mechie right now is not a bad idea. I'm not drafting Tank at the end. Like, I'm off Tank. He's just very, very small. Playmaker, but very, very small. Where does he go? Nathaniel Dell, 213. I'm off Woods. I like Nico. I've been saying to draft him since around like 127, definitely. Said like he can move up to like the 111 range pretty easily because this is where like the wide receiver dead zone is. And you have like Lazard, you have Beckham. Like, it's very easy for him to move into this range. And we've seen him creep up to this range because of teams. They get to this spot and they're locked out at receiver and they need to reach. So his ADP is just inherently going to keep moving down for that reason. And that's exactly what's happening. Like, he just passed Herbert, A-Chain. He's starting to separate a little bit. He'll pass Harris next. He should pass Juju pretty easily. This is just projecting, right? This is just projection. He should be able to pass these 3 QBs, although like Daniel Jones is going way too late in drafts, in my opinion. Goes way too late. Yeah. Yeah, Gibbs, Fantasy Pros #1 RB schedule. Love that. Love that. Problem is he has Montgomery sneaking right behind him. We see Treylon Burks fall to 90 here. It's an extreme value. He should not be going that late. He should be at the latest probably going around 80. We see Sherman go Brandon Cooks over Treylon Burks. Bateman goes 1 pick before us. Would have loved to scoop Bateman there. Gross. All right. It's time to get our 3rd share of Michael Thomas in 650 drafts. Let's bring in Michael Thomas. It's going to open us up for another QB option late as well. Realistically, I want Rice for my bring back for this team for week 17. Like, when I think who's going to be the guy for week 17 against Cincy, I don't really want a slot receiver. I like the A-Rich pick in this range too, just because it's such a gross range. Let's go Sharps. We need to bring in a running back in this range, and we likely need to hit running back on the way back around at 119 and 122. We're good at QB for a little bit. We're good at tight end. We're strong at receiver. We need to shore up the RB room, and this is the range I sort of like to do it. So we'll come back to this range right here. And I sort of like Jamal Williams right now with the negative news about Kendre, where I wasn't clicking him early. And this is a team that might need early season production, so that would make a lot of sense with the Jamal Williams on this specific roster as well. Just something to think about for your own constructions. Oh, shit. Are we talking CEH in the chat right now? Where's Vinny? Where's Vinny where you need him? We do have a little injury news about Pacheco not being completely ready for camp. So we'll see. We'll see how far and how deep into camp that injury goes. But when he's ready, he's going to be the guy. Like CEH was healthy enough to play in the Super Bowl, and they didn't play him. So they had him play a Devonta Smith type role in practice. That's just, he did what he had to do to help the team, win, but they didn't trust him enough to be on the field. So, and they also didn't pick up his 5th-year option. Just negative signs for CEH, in my opinion. Negative signs. Now, last round pick, I don't mind really mixing it in, but he's not my go-to guy every single click. And I know some people that are doing it, and I hope it works. I hope it works for her. Sherman with the 0-3-4-1 build. Goes Rodgers at 108. Oh, 17 picks before ADP on Rodgers. No. You can definitely get him at 132. Like right there, where I know I need 3 QBs on this roster. I don't care if I don't have correlation with Daniel Jones. This is a Daniel Jones pick, and I'm hoping I can get Rodgers 5 picks after ADP because he's someone that falls to 156 on occasion. So where's the Lazard team? Lazard team has Mahomes. I think you can sort of risk it that he doesn't go Rodgers. That's just me. There's no way Freiermuth makes it back to us, right? This could be a Purdy team. This could be a Derek Carr team. We could turn it into a Daniel Jones team because every team's a Daniel Jones team. And we have Waller. This guy's got 1-4-3-1. Oh my God. Come on, dude. Mike Evans, Jamon Lazard. What is that? And then he goes another running back. This draft's down to 11 people. 2 out of 11 advance in this room. This guy's completely, he just donated. And he took a running back from us. Stop drafting running backs. We can't go tight end here. We need an RB. And like I said, I think Jamal Williams makes sense. I'm almost hoping that Daniel Jones gets taken. Let's see what happens. Farbs. He goes Zay Jones. Let's bring in Danny Dimes. We're done at 2 QBs here. Saves a roster spot on the back end. We got the rushing upside. Got a little pairing with Darren Waller. I like the Jamal Williams pick for this team, though, where we might need early. Well, we definitely need early year production. Charles brings up a good point. Didn't pick up Jacobs' 5th-year option last year, but Jacobs was clearly the number 1 on the team. Pacheco is clearly the number 1 this year. And we got a little New Orleans correlation. A little bonus. But if you guys haven't already, drop a like on the live stream. If you want to jump in these live drafts with us, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell for notifications, and join the Discord. Get in the Discord. Free draft guide is going to be posted in the cheat sheet section. Get your drafts graded by the pounders in the draft grade section. Channel, I should be saying. Just a lot of fun. Community of over 130 people, super active. Nothing like Twitter. So much better. Khalil Herbert off the board at 125. How much Jones? Like, I need more Jones. I need more Daniel Jones. Especially like when Bestball Mania opened, his price was super, super expensive, but all the QBs were. All right, we're at 12%. We're actually sitting at a good number. We're comfortable with 12%. I would like to get that up to probably 15% in the next 50 drafts. This is number 100 here. This is special number 100. Geno Smith goes to the Frymuth, Kamara, Tua. Okay, he's got Metcalf. He's got his bringbacks for that game as well. He's got Tyreek Hill to go with Tua. No Baltimore correlation yet, but might go like maybe a late Isaiah Likely. Could be cool. And Drew says, get in Discord for my stupid jokes. Yeah, we need that. In the memes. Just do it for the memes. It's worth it. We'll post that in the chat. Jalen Warren off the board at 130, and that's why it's so hard to go like 0 RB builds this year. I really think you need that hero RB build. You need that anchor RB build this season where in years past you could go 0 RB and it was relatively easy. But where these handcuff running backs are going, like P. Ryan, Antonio Gibson, sorry, I had to. Jalen Warren, Elijah Mitchell. It's just, they're so much more costly this season, along with the receivers being like moved up as well. So it's a little tougher to go complete 0. If I'm doing one of those modified 0 RBs, like maybe I start with like J.K. Dobbins or like Cam Akers, like someone in that range, even Aaron Jones, I think that's fine. And then grabbing like 2 in that range, I like that as well. CEH chat still going on. You guys are animals. Vinny would be so mad. You guys talking negative about his CEH. He'd be so mad. Because he's a hashtag. Vinny, my guy. Get the spoons out. Jonathan Mingo off the board at 138. Bigsby goes off at 137. Odell falls to 132. MVS at 139. Give us Rice, not food. The player. We should be able to get him. And realistically, like we could do a falling Van Jeffy as a bringback for the Giants game as well. So we have 2 potential bringbacks. We could go Tyler Higbee if they both get sniped as well. I like Algier. Let's see what happens. He goes Schultz. I want 2 of these 3 players. He needs a tight end, right? So we can kind of assume he's going to go Higbee if I don't go Higbee. But I don't need Higbee. I feel like I need Algier for this team. I know he's not likely to go Algier, but he might. He might. That's the problem drafting in later July. This is going to be the problem drafting in August. You're going to try to project what people are going to do. And then they're just going to do the opposite because they have been drafting for months like we have. They're not worried about correlation. They're not worried about these other things. And auto pick Thielen. Auto pick Thielen. He picked Pierce. Beautiful. 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 Now we get to pick who we want. See, like this guy's not worried about clearly about having skilled receivers. That's one thing. Let's have fun. Let's go Rice. Let's go Rice. Drafting Rice makes you want to puke. Let's go. I'll draft Rice over MVS all day. So MVS is not a good player. Yeah, this is such a good point by Drew. It's 100% correct. Funniest thing about drafting against people who are total dumbasses is that it's actually way harder than drafting against sharp drafters because they're so unpredictable. 100%. You can't plan ahead because they don't have a plan. So like you looking forward and projecting what other people are going to draft, and then they just do something that doesn't make any sense. So I 100% agree with that. I would rather draft with sharp drafters. But the regulars are coming back, folks. The regulars are coming back. And they're coming back with their monies, their pockets full. Pockets full of monies. There it is. I think I needed the Algier pick for this roster. It was going to be gross if I didn't go Algier and he takes him. I need steady production. I would like to get Singletary. I think that's going to be a freaking wish that's going to be crushed in the next 3 picks, but we need early season production still. Singletary gone. You should be able to get Singletary for free too. 160s, mid 160s, 167. This is a good team for like Jeff Wilson. Gus Edwards is another one. Chuba. One, two, three, four, five, six. Probably 7 receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 QBs, and 7 running backs. We'll see. Breece Hall, Zach Charbonnet, Jamal Williams, Algier. It's really going to depend where our capital's coming from and what round and who we end up with. If we can get some falling values, that'd be sick. But right now, everyone's kind of reaching up and getting their guys. TJ Chark off the board. Like, who do I need in order to feel comfortable at running back? Like, if I was just to draft 2 more, could I stop at 6 with Gainwell and Jeff Wilson, or Jeff Wilson and Gus Edwards, Tajay Spears and Gainwell? I don't think so. And part of the reasoning for that is I think Jamal Williams will just help this team advance. I don't necessarily think he's going to be the piece I need for weeks 15, 16, 17. Foreman would have been another good click for this team. I could have gone like Foreman and then like Tajay Spears, bring in another rookie. But Foreman, who would have that early season production to go with someone like Spears for my current roster, would have been nice. Sean Tucker. We'll see. I think we have time to wait on Sean Tucker. Like, even if he does, like, is he practicing yet? I don't even think he's practicing yet. So I think we're kind of assuming risk if we're just drafting someone that's not even playing yet in the 18th round even. Now, if it's like Bestball Mania is close to filling and he still hasn't practiced yet, no one's still drafting him, maybe you can start to mix him in a little bit at the end. because he'll just be a super low owned player, which is interesting to me, but I think we can wait on positive news and he won't rise a crazy amount. You'd still be able to get him in the 18th. This is tough. He goes Love. I want likely two of these running backs, but I wouldn't mind a receiver here too. Like I wouldn't mind DPJ. I don't think he's going to go Tajay Spears. He has Derrick Henry. Please make sense of your draft. Do not draft Tajay Spears. He has Derrick Henry. Like he shouldn't go at Tajay Spears. We're putting a little bit of trust in him. We're just testing him out. Okay. We can breathe again. Let's bring in Tajay. Love that. Curtis Samuel goes right after. And Curtis Samuel's a nice click in this range too, in my opinion. And with Daniel Jones, I don't really feel the need to like really push a second pass catcher with him too. We know he gets there on the ground with his legs. You don't need to have him stacked with two receivers. I think it's actually going to be less likely that he has that spike week pushing on two receivers in a single week rather than just pushing one and then him spiking on the ground. So I do like to keep Daniel Jones typically to one pass catcher, but my favorite lineups also have Barkley. Burrow, Jones, Breece Hall, Zach Charbonnet, Jamal Williams, Tyler Algier, Tajay Spears, Chase, Higgins, Ayuk, Dotson, Michael Thomas, the bring back and Rice, DPJ. We're done at receiver. Darren Waller. Who do we want our last tight end to be? I don't think Trey McBride's going to make it back to us. I think Sherman's going to go Trey McBride with one of these clicks. But we'll see. It'd be like an 18 ADP reach. We'll see if he's willing to do that or if he's going to try to push him to 204. But with positive news about Kyler, we should probably be a little higher on Trey McBride. Yeah, the later this draft is going, the more it's looking like a 3 tight end build, which I didn't want. I didn't want that to happen, but we can stop at 7 receivers. So we can do a 2-7-7-2 or 2-6-7-3. If I can get Gus Edwards here, even Lenny might make sense. If I can get early production from Lenny and one of these running backs can find a decent role in their offense, that could work as well. But shit. This still might be just 2 tight end build. Did this Carter guy go Tennessee again? No, he didn't. D-Hop. I like this pairing of tight ends. That's strong. We might be better off going 2 RBs. Draft number 100's a doozy. We got the double with Cincy. We got the bring back. We have Daniel Jones stacked. We don't have a bring back for that, but that's fine. I'm really not too worried about that. If I can get Gus Edwards here, I'll stop at 6. I just really didn't think I was going to have a chance to get him. Saw green. These two guys both have 4 running backs. Oh. Khalil Shakur is there. I'm going to take him. I'm going to take him if you don't take him. Come on, farts. Let's go, buddy. Ah, shot through the dick. Old man Lenny. Old man Lenny. Even if he ends up on the Patriots, like I think he'll have a serviceable role. We have 2 rookies. We need some sort of early production. We definitely need another running back now. I think I could have stopped with Gus Edwards, though, to be honest. Max Payne, bro. We're going to stop with 2 tight ends. We're going to stop with 2 tight ends with McBride. Just make a bet that maybe Kyler makes it back earlier into the season than everyone's thinking. Ghost asks, do you have any players with pretty much no ADP that you're taking in the last round? A lot. It really depends on what I need for my team, right? Like if I am set at QB right now, if I'm set at wide receiver, if I'm set at tight end, I just need 2 running backs to finish my draft with. I don't click a lot of Lenny, but I think he makes sense with this construction. Zamir White, CH you can mix in, Joshua Kelly, Eric Ray, Dwayne McBride, Israel Banaconda. I think you can mix all these guys in. You're going to get zeros in this range. Every single draft people do, people are drafting dead players. Malik Davis. But some of these players have the highest upside because they're just 1 injury away from becoming a starter, right? It's tough at this point in the offseason, and this is the risk of needing running backs late. There's a positive side and there's a negative side. We don't know if these are going to be the RB2s on the team. We have vets that haven't signed yet in free agency, injuries that haven't happened. Like there's all these different factors. If we knew Malik Davis was the set RB2 for Dallas, where would you be drafting him? You know what I mean? He'd be going around Jerome Ford. So, and that's the same thing with, Pierre Strong, with CEH, but even in KC, like they have Pacheco, they have McKinnon. So now it's a 3-headed running back attack. It's not just 2. So I think CH actually has more of a barrier. Zamir White, does Josh Jacobs hold out? Sure, but there's so many vets that haven't signed yet. Like Zamir White's not going to be the starter. And as long as you know that, yes, add him as a wide RB5, add him as an RB6 onto your teams, but don't do a hyper fragile build where Zamir White's your RB4 because you think he's going to have first and second down work just to himself. I like Kelly a lot. Kelly's someone that I think should be going higher because he has a certain role as the RB2 on his team. So I do like Kelly a lot at the end of these drafts. That's exactly who I'm going to draft if he comes back to us. This running back room is it's a gross one. It really is a gross one. We didn't get any values falling to us at running back, which never feels good. Did we get any values falling to us anywhere? Holy smokes. This might be one of the tougher drafts I've had in this room. And I mean, we still found our correlation with our stacks, double stack and Cincy bring back, but we didn't have it easy in this room. Not a lot of value fell to us, like not a lot of easy clicks. We reach out for McBride here. I think this does allow us to go to tight ends. And we just make the bet that Waller finishes better than his ADP. But yeah, definitely an interesting draft. Definitely one of the tougher rooms, though. That is just strange. That's just strange. But I appreciate everyone coming out. I had a lot of fun on those last two drafts. Number 99 and number 100. We're going to be back on Sunday night. The draft guide, completely free for YouTube subscribers, will be complete on Monday. You can find the last iteration of that in our Discord. The link is in the chat. It was last updated at 18%. Bestball Mania is now about 40% full, 41% full. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. Like it is a good draft guide. I had a 36% advance rate in playoff tournament play last year and a 44% ROI in cash games. So you can kind of trust me just a little bit, not too much. Have your own player takes and just sort of take my information and form it into whatever your beliefs are too. So that's important. Guys, thanks for coming out. Appreciate every one of you. Smash a like on the way out. Maybe drop a comment when the stream ends. I don't know how to get comments, so I'll just ask for them. Maybe drop a comment. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, Pounders.